Sometimes so much is going on with the phenomenal, it's easy to get caught up in the movie. You find that emotions are starting to get attention, and then slowly it feels like suffering is coming up. But at that moment, all it takes is a recognition that, okay, the movie is playing loud, but I'm not the movie. You can be the witness. It's easy to try to attach thoughts and to get caught up in behaviors, but I find that when I just let go and remain shapeless, as Muji would say, not get caught up in the emotions. Sure, sometimes you feel angry, sometimes you get let down, or there's something you have to deal with that causes you to give attention to whatever it is. But you don't really have to be pulled fully into the movie. You can still maintain that and be that witness. I find that when I step back and kind of take a pause, that things just start to fall in place. And sometimes I found that when in the midst of like something that's really intense, if I just let go, I just decide to do nothing, it seems to all take care of itself anyways. And then of course I come back and revisit it and do what I can when I need to do it, but I'm not so caught up in the control aspect, not trying to control this over here or put out fires before they start. I just kind of let things unveil as they need to. Just take the stress of everything out of it, or taking claim to anything, or making judgments, or getting worked up or stressed out. Just remove all that, let all that emotion go, and I find that everything tends to just flows as it needs to flow. It's at that moment when things look like they're not going the way that they should, that I tend to just, I found that if I relax in the moment and I just let go, step away from it, whatever it is, everything tends to start to just work. And the pieces of the puzzles fit where at first it seems like, oh no, there's resistance there. Tend to go a lot better when there's no attention, there's no full attention, and trying to control and staying in it and working it out or trying to do this or that. I just do the opposite of what the mind would say you need to do. And 100%, it's always been much better than what I could expect. Everything just seems to fall in place. The people who needs to be here are here. The people are not falls off. It's just a beautiful thing to be in the experience of now and to not allow the movie to overwhelm you. A lot of times we get caught up because there are things, if we have families, we have to take care of. Not every day things are just going the way that the mind says it should go. But in reality, it's going perfectly. And sometimes that little resistance allows us to see another path, allows something else to open up. As long as we don't have attachments to the moment or attachments to the outcome, things will flow as they need to flow, and there's no reason to allow emotions to consume you, to allow the emotions or stress to cause the suffering. It really interferes with the flow of the universe, and the flow of love. When we are consumed with the emotions that arises when there is resistance. Sometimes it's like a stream. When a log falls across the stream, then the water tends to flow differently. And then we find that they create other paths and into rivers and streams and things of that nature. So it's not always a bad thing when resistance comes up. It's not always a bad thing when things doesn't go according to the way the mind thinks it should, the way we think it should. It's okay to just sit back sometimes when it doesn't. It allows you to see how the universe will work it out, because you don't really need to jump in and you stress yourself out and try to cut through the log. Sometimes the log is just the opening for something better to blossom, something new, something that was outside of the box that the mind may or may not have created. And so, we can just rest assured in the moment. And when things comes up and the movies get loud and things doesn't look like they're gonna work out, it's okay just to relax and take your hands off of it. Even if it is just for a few minutes, in order to be able to see clearly. Because sometimes when you're up in the midst of things and you're trying to, work things out, sometimes you're too close to it in order to be able to get that clairvoyance in that situation. So it's good to go ahead and just take your hands off of it and be okay with the outcome, whatever it is. Sometimes we get attached to the outcome, and that causes a lot of suffering. And so, that pretty much came up. I really didn't have much, but I said, these are good. Really, during the week I couldn't remember, because things always come up during the week, but I don't turn on the camera immediately. And so by the time I get in front of the camera, it's gone. That was yesterday, or that was whenever. But now, I wasn't going to turn on the camera today, but I decided to go ahead and hopefully this helps someone, because I'm just here for this. For this moment, I'm here for you. It's not anything that I really personally gained, but when it's just pointers to yourself. It's like when it's just for the love of it that I'm here. The love of knowing myself, and willing to share and just point you for those hearts that have been pulled and trying to find their way back home, that journey, from which everything emanates, what I call home, that love from which everything emanates and have its being, that peace that surpasses all understanding. Rest and abide in that. Rest in the moment, and not have attachments to your outcome, which will cause frustration and a lot of suffering. Just be okay with the now and learn how to sit with yourself. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. Remember that you are beautiful, and I love you. Bye.